here once again from ShortMeTina.com with my daily recap. Today, I want to say is Thursday or today, right? Today's Thursday, so I'm going to say happy Thursday, one more day, and then the weekend is upon us. That meant something actually a few months ago, right? Because you were able to actually go out, go to dinner, maybe meet up with friends, whereas now the weekends you're locked in your home. But if you're working from home, at least you get 2 days where you're not actually working. So, again, one more day. Friday is almost upon us. The weekend is almost here. And so happy Thursday. I'm going to be really quick because the last few videos that I've done this week have been over 10 minutes. Some were pushing 20. So I'm going to be so direct with this video. I'm going to talk about the major indexes, and I'm just going to talk about price levels that I'm paying attention to. We're going to kick it off with the SPY. Like last week, unemployment numbers came in at like 3.3 million. The market shot up. Today, unemployment numbers came in at, and I don't mean to laugh, to take it lightly, but just the craziness of the market, right? Unemployment numbers, unemployment claims rather, came in at around, I think, 6.6 million. And what does the market decide to do? The market decides to rally. We're up a little over 2% on the day, closed at 251.88. And so that red line that I spoke about in the last few videos are still there, right? And so I said I'm more inclined to be bullish if we can remain above there, more inclined to be bearish if we're below there. And for the last few hours, this is an hourly chart with the SPY. For the last few hours of the last 2 trading days, we just really are kind of hanging out or hugging that line. Again, considering what's going on with the fundamentals underneath, and I'm not going to talk about it because I spoke about it the last 2 or 3 videos. If you're new and you have no idea what I'm talking about, definitely go check out any video that I did this week. I think I talk about it at length. Anyway, so for me, I'm paying attention to what's going on underneath, and while I am open for the market showing me exactly what it wants to do, there's so much damage out there in terms of stores being shuttered, people being unemployed. I mean, again, in 2 weeks, we've had 10 million people file unemployment claims. And when you hear stories on varying social media sites, you'll see that a lot of folks have not been able to access or able to file for these claims because a lot of the website, one in particular, New York, continues to crash. So I'm sure there's a lot of folks who have not been able to get through, and so are not counted in these last 2 numbers. So I say that all that to say, I think that right now the numbers is probably way more than 10 million. So even if the market is up 2%, I cannot ignore what's going on the outside. So I'm leaning relatively bearish, but that does not necessarily mean you need to always act. Yes, in the spirit of being fully disclosed, I am short. Understand though that we went short, or I was advocating a short position, nothing like lofty, just as a hedge. I was advocating in the premium member community for us to put on a short position. I want to say at the beginning of 2020, and in hindsight, it was such a great thing for me to do because if you know how I trade, I'm always playing defense. Kind of lost my train of thought a little there. So what I'm essentially trying to say is I'm inclined to lean bearish, although I am short, and I was not bearish, but felt the need to hedge at the beginning of 2020. You don't need to feel compelled to do something in the market, right? If you sit on your hands for the next 2 or 3 months, granted you're not going to make any money, but you're not going to lose any money either. There's going to be opportune times to actually, pick those stocks or to make a trade. So the market is going to be open, right? It's open now. Clearly, after all we went through, shedding 30+% in 2 or 3 weeks, the markets did not close, so I can't suspect that it's going to close anytime soon. It's going to be there, right? Don't feel pressured. And it's a very tough environment to trade. Despite what you're seeing out there, it's a very tough environment to trade. And I'm taking this myself. Don't be so inclined to trade all the time or every day. If you sit on your hands for the next month or 2 to assess the situation, I think that would be really considered smart trading. There's nothing wrong with sitting it out. until things start to quote unquote make sense. All right. So a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I'm going to talk about the IWM, QQQ, and the Dow, just simply talking about points that I'm paying attention to. All right. What else? What do we have next? All right. IWM up marginally on the day, close to 1%. I see a quote here of 107.71. That was the closing price of the day. This is a weekly chart, and you can see here this red line here is exactly what I'm paying attention to. That is what I'm gonna call support once resistance. Let's give it a range, 95 to, let's say, $100. We're not too far from there. Anything over, I think it's a good buy. Anything under, obviously, I will start to get a little bit more bearish, although we are beneath the 200-day moving average, and that in itself should have you be more inclined on the bear side, but you can always get your bounce off of support, and so that's what I'm paying attention to with the IWM. I'll call those pivot spots or pivot locations for me. So 95 to 100, once it gets there, I'll make my move. What else? All right, and so we have the QQQ. This is a weekly chart dating back to around 2018. You can see it. We're slightly above the 200-day, closed at 186.01. Again, up about 2% on the day. What's that pivot level that I'm paying attention to? For the QQQ, it is 175, so we're not that far from there. Once we get there, I'll make some action, or I'll make a play, or it will tell me something. What else? All right, so let's wrap it up and round it out with the Dow, the ETF ticker DIA. This is a weekly chart. It's up about 2%. You know, did I just say make action in my last recording on the QQQ? I have no idea what that means, right? What the hell does make action mean? But you get it. It means that I'll make a decision at that point. So back to the Dow. Up about 2% on the day. This is a weekly chart. This red line here, this highlighted area. Again, pivot. Let's give it a range. We closed at 214.02. The range that I'm paying attention to is 175 to around 180. We're not too far from there, although we are underneath the 200-day moving average for those that like to trade the 200-day moving average. And so for me, and we already bounced off that point out towards the ending of March 23rd, or the week of March 23rd, we went to a low of 182 and we bounced. That should signify to you that, well, that is an area of support, because once it got there, the bulls came in and they held it up. So that's why that's an important spot for me, because it has acted in this environment. It's support that, again, I'm giving it a range, that 175 to 180 area. And back in 2014 to 2016, it served as an area of resistance. So that's a pretty important area for me. Pay attention to that, because that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. And I'm going to cap it there. And with the exception of the SPY, the fact that I can do these videos or analyze these charts really quickly just tells me that the 20, 15, sometimes 30-minute videos that I do, it's just me talking. Sometimes I guess I just like to talk. But I'm going to cap it there, right? Because I said today it's going to be short. Tina here, once again from ShortMeTina.com. If you enjoyed any portion of that video, do 3 things for me. I'm going to make it quick. If you have listened to any of my videos, you already know what I'm going to say. If you're new, this is going to be new to you. 1, like the video and comment in the comment section. Let me know, what are your thoughts on the SPY, IWM, QQQ, and the Dow. Comment. Do you agree with my pivot points? Do you disagree? What areas are you looking at? Let's help each other out, right? That's the first thing. 2, I do videos every single day. Sometimes it's on low float runners. Sometimes I'm just doing the indexes. Sometimes I'm just talking about the SPY. Even if it's one analysis, I make sure Monday through Friday I get a video up to you. It comes at varying times. So if you want to be notified the minute I upload it, ensure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel at ShortMeTina. And this is the last thing. Lastly, my friend, I've been trading for a long time, north of 20 years. I know, I'm old. It's a long time. Right now, what we're doing on our website is we're hosting a free 14-day trading course, essentially telling you or detailing a lot of the things that I've learned over the last 20 years about myself, about the market, about what works, about what does not work. So if that is something that you're interested in, you don't need to give me a credit card. No credit card required here. just a valid email address so I can know where to send these videos to. And if you're quarantined and on lockdown, like a lot of us, and you are trying to find something to do with your time, I think it's actually the ample time to learn about trading stocks. So again, if that's something that you're interested in, definitely head on over to our website, ShortMeTina.com, sign up, become a member. Thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for the support. I'll talk to you tomorrow. I was gonna say tomorrow. I'm telling you, man. Sometimes I get tripped up. Anyway, talk to you tomorrow. Be safe, and yeah, see you tomorrow.